I watched, obviously, a lot of football this weekend, but I made sure after the Chiefs game against the Browns that I stayed on CBS and I watched 60 Minutes because it was 60 Minutes dedicated to the heroics, the heroism of 9/11 with these firefighters and interviews with people who were there in charge, the roles that they played, and extremely powerful. And if you get an opportunity, a lot of times when we move on from something, we're sort of numb to it. I was in New York this weekend, and I couldn't help but notice as I'm driving into New York, and I went to a concert that was on Pier 17, and it had to do with 9/11 and celebrating the heroics there. A lot of firefighters were there. And the weather was eerily similar to that day 20 years ago. Beautiful sunny day. And I couldn't help but think as I'm driving in around the time that the first tower was hit. And it just dawned on me that it was one of those days that, it was just a beautiful day in New York City. But to be in and to be walking around New York City and all these firehouses, there were a lot of tributes. There were a lot of people who were bringing flowers there. It was just a wonderful reminder of, the loss of lives. And it's tough to watch now. And as I've said before, two brothers who were there, New York City firefighters, they got in late, and they were there for months cleaning up debris. And they don't talk about it, what they saw, because they're seeing parts of people, but they don't talk about it. They just, I think out of respect for the dead, they just don't talk about it. I remember that they would go to funerals. They would have firefighters just go to funerals for people who had died. And the number of firefighters who came into New York City from all over the country. I mean, they knew that that's their job and they're going to be there. And just to hear some of these men who talk about they're going in, they know what's up there. They know there's people up there. They have to go get them. And they know they might not come back down. I mean, it's just powerful. And you want to move on, but you don't want to forget. And it's a powerful, it's a painful reminder. And the number of children who were young when their fathers died, and they went into, they wanted to be a firefighter after that. Even though they lost their dad, they wanted to be firefighters. But 60 Minutes, the entire hour is about that with 9/11. And Scott Pelley did a wonderful job with the interviews. He hosted everything.